Good afternoon, Madam Speaker, Executive Mayor, the Deputy Executive Mayor, and our caucus leader, Councillor Belinda Kaiser Ichazanjoko. Madam Speaker, as I listen attentively to the presentation of the 2026-2027 budget speech, we were informed in this council yesterday that 99.3% of residents have access to water, 96% access to sanitation, 92% access to electricity, and 87% access to refuse collection. It is called the People's Plan, but if one analyzes it in greater detail, the attached IDP annexures, it makes mentions that citizen satisfaction with water and electricity services is declining, and it's declining fast. Yet the people speak. I doubt the businesses and residents of Selby would agree with the statistics, for they will now go almost one full year without water and sanitation. And if we consider the current financial year, between December and January alone, there has been over 22 consecutive water outages across the city, largely on the back of pipe bursts and low reservoirs. The problem is not new, for even in this document, the city has underinvested in the coalface of service infrastructure, such as City Power, Pick It Up, and Johannesburg Water. City Power and Johannesburg Water's combined infrastructure backlog, as listed in this document, sits at over 44 billion and 26 billion rand, respectively, as stated. In this very same RDP document, the city admits it has been reactive rather than responsive, and proposes move towards preventative maintenance, proper lifestyle management, asset management, evidence-based infrastructure planning, for the challenges include governance and accountability failures, political interference, corruption, leadership failure, and poor coordination across the entities. If this government is serious about fixing the basics around governance, then it should ask itself, why have they lowered the qualification requirements for the CEO at City Power from the original advert? A crucial entity, once reserved and once revenue generating for the city, in severe financial distress, you surely want the best to lead that entity. Your metro trading reforms propose financial sustainability, accountability, and infrastructure renewal. City Power is already drawing on revenue from other sources and the general revenue in the city. And get this, in 2025-2026 financial year, City Power had to deal with over 1 million outages. 1 million outages. Imagine the revenue losses to this entity and having a growing overdraft of billions of rands. The RDP lists further energy mix. Great stuff. However, the city has undertaken to punish private solar users who are on prepaid meters, forcing them to convert back to conventional power and reducing their disposable income further. Why not engage with them and buy some of their solar back, much cheaper than Eskom? Why? City Power and Joburg Water have become shadows of themselves, where water runs down most streets, then coming out of the taps, where City Power is forcing businesses to reconsider whether they want to stay in Johannesburg or shut down, and in shutting down, leaving people unemployed. These service delivery failures, Speaker, are felt by everyone, from Orange Farm, Soweto, to Sandton, to Melville, to Coronationville, to Eldorado Park, to Claremont, the whole city. It doesn't matter. Residents across the city are experiencing power outages. They are experiencing water outages. Speaker, the IDP does not speak to Johannesburg Water's turnaround plan in great detail, which is underfunded and will continue to be underfunded in the medium term with an allocation of 6.4 billion over 3 years. Joburg Water needs a minimum of 3.5 billion each financial year just to start catching up. This means that the Johannesburg of tomorrow will not serve the future generations, as the backlogs will continue to grow and outpace infrastructure investment, leaving future generations with one of the most vital resources, which is water. Speaker, while some of these plans and proposals seek to improve infrastructure, great. The city should focus on getting basics right, such as governance and leadership. When this filters down to the entities, the rest usually follows. Speaker, investment infrastructure is critical to any major city in South Africa. It's no surprise that the city of Cape Town has invested in a planned budget of 40 billion rand over the 3 capex investment years, more than Johannesburg, Tshwane, and Ekurhuleni combined. But Johannesburg underinvestment is self-made, because the real calamity started not in 2021, but back in 2000, 2006, and 2011. For that, all those who would follow would inherit this. Speaker, in concluding, The city must get governance right because the ID document.
Thank you, Councillor Meyers.